Hello guys, I am Shakzee and welcome in lecture number 7. Today we are going to discuss about the grid system. So basically we use the grid system to create the responsive website. Like we have a single website, and if you open this website, as you can see, this is a particular website. So this is the example. So if you open this website in the desktop or in a large monitor, so the layout similar to this one. If you open this website in a mobile device like iPhone 6s, so click on this. So now as you can see, the website is showing the different layout. So this is the beauty of the grid system. You don't need to specify the settings, or you don't need to add the extra coding to change the layout. Okay, so now before doing this, you have to familiar with some concepts. Get Bootstrap. It's a front-end framework. If you are not familiar with Bootstrap, it's fine. I'm just telling you, if you are familiar with Bootstrap, so it's also fine. So documentations, you have grid systems. I'm saying grid layout. Now as you can see, it's saying grid systems. So now as you can see, you have the row, and in the row you have your column. In the column you have your content. Now the content is string. You also have the images or audio, video, or something like that. So the rule is you have to define your columns in the row, and you have to define your content, or you have to add your content in the column. So this is the rule. Now I'm going to create a new page so you can easily understand. I'm saying grid. So publish this page. Make sure the URL is the composer. Now click on the front end editor, because we have two type of editor, the front end and also the back end. You can also use the back end editor. It's totally depend upon you. I always use the front end editor, because if you use the back end editor, you always check the settings. Like we will discuss about this, but for now I'm going to use the front end layout. Okay, now click on the element. So click on this row. We have selected a row. Make sure every row always have 12 columns. So every row has always 12 columns. You have to define the 12 column. Either the 12 column, if you are dividing your 12 columns into two parts, that means you have to define the six columns. How? Like this. I'm saying you have a row, one row. In the row you have two columns, 6 and 6. So 6 plus 6 equals to 12. Okay, that means you always use the 12 columns. Now click on the edit row. As you can see, currently you have few options: row stretch, column gap, full height, and disable the row. Now I'm saying design. I'm just selecting the background. So you have the background settings here. You can also use the border and also use the border style. Now I'm going to set the background. So this is the background. Click on this. Now you can also use the cover, container, no repeat, and repeat. So now as you can see, the image is now repeating, because image is too small and the column width is large. So that's why it's repeating your image. So if you are selecting the no repeat, design, no repeat, click on the save changes. So now as you can see, it's showing you the full width of the image. Okay, now I'm saying I don't need to specify the repeat. So I'm saying default. Fine. So this is a full column. Now if you click on this one. So as you can see, it's saying change layout. So in the row layout, you have different kind of columns. You have the one column, so as you can see, it's saying 1 by 1. You have 2 columns, it's saying 1 by 2 columns. You have 2 columns, it's you have this kind of layout. If you dividing your column into 3, so as you can see, you have 3 columns, 4 columns, and this layout, this. I need the 2 columns for now. Click on the update button and remove this one. So now as you can see, you have 2 columns. Now I'm going to add the content in the columns. Now I'm going to use a single image. Now I'm going to use the text here, text block. Okay, fine. I'm also going to use the 2 text blocks here, 3 text blocks. Okay, now so drag text block from here to here. So now you have your columns. Now if you click on the row, edit row, you have row stretch. If you are saying stretch the row, just click on this, save. So now as you can see, you are now stretching the row. You have stretched the row, but the content at the same place. If you click on this one, and once again, if you are saying stretch the row and also the content, so definitely it will stretch your content and also the row. So now click on this stretch row and content with no padding. So now click on this one, save. Okay, so now you can see you are using the stretch row and the content with no padding. So it's totally depend upon you how you are working. Okay, now click on the, if you click on this one row, both are the same things, because you are saying that you have a single row with 2 columns. So this row and this row, so these are the same things. Okay, but if you click on this one, so editing this column and also editing this column is a different thing. Okay, now click on this one, edit row. Now click on this one, I'm saying just use the default setting. Fine, this image is the background image. Make sure this is the background image. You can also use the background color. Click on this one, remove this one. You can also specify the background color. Let's suppose I'm saying this is the background color. Click. I'm saying okay, it's a border. Sorry, it's a border, it's not a background color. So this is the background color. If I'm saying that I'm going to use this background color, so definitely it will add the background color. Okay, now it was my mistake. Okay, you have different kind of options. So if you save this one and go to the backend editor, open this page at the backend. So as you can see, you have 2 columns, and as you know, this is the single row. You don't have the 2 row here. So this is a single row with 2 columns. So click on this now, so you have the same settings. Okay, fine. Now if you click on this one, you can define your columns here. So generally you can define your parallax settings. You can assign the class and an ID to your columns if you are altering or if you are customizing your columns. And if you click on this one, you have the same option. Click on the design, so you can see you have the same options. So this is your column. Make sure this is your column settings. Click on the design, you have the same options. You can set your borders, background colors, and also the image. You have the responsive. Make sure now you are using 6 column here and you are using 6 column here. So that means 6 and 6, 12. So you are using the 12 columns here. Now if you click on this one and you are saying, oh no, I'm going to use the 4, click on this, click. So now as you can see, you have your 4 column and you have your 6 columns. 4 and 6 equals to 10. Still you have the one column space here. So you have to define one column space here. So click on this. I'm saying like this. So I have the columns like this. Click on this. So go to the editor. I'm just showing you. So now you have two columns. One is large, second one is small, because you are using the 4 column here and 8 column here. So you can also select the options from here if you use the 2 columns like this. So you have to now refresh. Okay, now view changes. So now you have the similar rows and columns. So in this way you can define your rows and columns. When you click on the home page, so now as you can see, they have 2 columns here, 4 column, 8 columns, and they have, this is the 4 column and this is the 8 column. In the 8 column they are using different content. So now as you can see, go to the front end side. I'm just telling you here, if you remove these things, now you have your plus button. Click on this. You have now click on the row. Now you are defining the, in the 6th column you are defining the row here. You can also use the here, but if you are saying that you need 2 columns in the here, so now as you can see you have 2 columns. So you have 1 row. In this row you have 6 column and you have 6 column. Fine. And now in the 6th column you have 1 row with 2 columns, 6 by 6 column. And definitely if you create the row here, that means you have to define the column like 2 column, 6 column. So you have 6 column. You can also define the other type of layout, and you can also, okay, now fine. Now I'm saying this is the row, and if you click on the this button, that means you are copying the row. So this is the first row, this is the second row, so don't mix this. So for now it's fine. So this is the row and the column combinations. You always use the row and column to create the layout in the WordPress or by using the Visual Composer. So I think this is enough for today. In the next we are going to cover some other things. So thank you for watching.